you guys, welcome back to Stampaholics Anonymous. Today we are going to look at those Spellbound lacquers, Spellbound nails polishes, nails polishes. That's good English. I'm so happy. Anyway, we're going to look at those. I have bought 12 of the polishes from different Harry Potter collections that she has. She has 4 collections total, based around, you know, 4 of the books. So I am guessing that there will be like 3 more, because there's 3 more books after number 4. Because there's 7 books, right? There's 7 books. Anyway, I picked off the different books and I've sort of grouped them together by the collection that they came from. But really, I just picked out my favorites that looked like really intriguing to me. On the website, I had like a cool 50% off coupon. That's why I went a bit overboard and bought like 12 polishes. But really, I just paid, you know, 6 polishes because it was 50% off. Anywho, I've already swatched these and I have a new swatch set up, and I would like you guys to tell me what you think about it, if you like that angle that I have going on and the new backdrop and stuff. It's really fancy and advanced. It involves covering my window with a piece of fabric and a couple of those, you know, clippy thingies. It's very professional. It also involves a mirror, and that's semi-professional. I saw, who was it? I think it was Sloppy Swatches. I saw like a little Instagram swatch video of from her, and she was using a mirror as a backdrop. That was really neat, and I thought I'd try to incorporate that, especially because I thought it was fitting for this whole magical, mystical Harry Potter thing that we have going on in this swatch video, even though it's not like really the season for that. Let me run you through the polishes, then we're going to look at swatches, and then we're going to talk favorites. These dots on the bottles somewhat have to do with favorites, because there's 12 polishes. That's a lot of swatches. That's a lot of things to remember, so I marked my favorites as I went along, so it wouldn't always be just the first one and the last one I swatched, because of the, you know, recency and primacy effect. Anywho, let's start. These 2 are from collection number 1, or Harry Potter book number 1. We've got Hogwarts Express. This is meant to be a red, like Crelly to Jelly formula. It has a bunch of different flakies in there that are, of course, color shifting. I see some purple, I see some gold, and some red, of course. Then we have Trollbogies. Boogies. This is a gray Crelly, so of course you know I love it, or I had to have it, and it has a bunch of different shaped silver hollow glitters in it. Moving on to book number 2. First up, we've got Fort Anglia. This is also a Crelly polish, with, you know, that minty blue color that the old Fort Anglia that Harry and Ron steal, of the same color of that, you know, car that they steal in that movie. And there's also a bunch of like blue and red, and I think there's silver. Yep, there's silver hollow glitters in here. Then we've got another Crelly. This one is called Basilisk, and it has a green base, and then there's red and silver, or are they gold? No, I think they're like gold. Unsure, but they're hollow and they're like square little glitters in here, really neat. And then we have Tom Riddles Diary. This is a very intriguing polish, because it's sort of this bluish, blackish, bluish, grayish going on that sort of emulates like the cover of the, you know, Tom Riddle's Diary. And it actually dries to like a semi-matte finish. At least my bottle did. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way, or if it just, you know, isn't as shiny as the other polishes, but it dried to a very interesting semi-matte finish. I'm getting ahead of myself. Moving on to book 3, we've got the Marauders Map, and this one has like a tan base color, and then there's a bunch of different black matte glitters in here in different sizes and shapes. Then we have Runaway Rat, and this one has like I called it last time, pastel brown base color, and then there's a bunch of gold or rose gold or bronze glitters in here, some of which are hollow. There's a bit of, you know, hollow micro glitter going on, and some hex glitters also. Then we have another gray Crelly, which is called Stormy Snitch. And as the name might imply, there's little round golden glitters in here that are not hollow, and there's some scattered micro glitter in here that is also golden but not hollow. Nothing in here is hollow, which is fine. Not everything has to be hollow. Next up, we've got a Dementor, and this is like a really, really nice black linear hollow base. It's actually more of a jelly formula, because there's also these blue glitters in here. Can you see those? Can you see those? I think you can see them. So the formula naturally has to be a bit thinner in order for you to be able to see these like in that hollow base and for them to stand out on your nail. Next up, we are moving along to book number 4. This is the book with that Goblet of Fire with the other wizarding scrolls that visit Hogwarts. They visit Hogwarts to wizard. Oh, anyway. First up, we've got Boba Tong. My French isn't really on fleek. I'm learning, but my pronunciation is really, really bad. This is again a Crelly in a light baby blue base, and then there's bar glitters in there, and there's stars in there, and some hex glitters, and all of this is hollow. Really pretty. Then next up we've got Durmstrang. And this is a red to orange linear hollow base, also a Crelly formula, because there's like these really cool dark red hex glitters in here, and some like speckles of just matte glitters that are black. I'm not really 100% sure, and I wasn't when I put it on my nails, whether those little hex glitters are red or if they're black. They look black from certain angles, but I think they're meant to be red. But it's really neat combo of glitters in here. And last and certainly not least, we've got Madre, and this is again a black jelly linear hollow base. Oops. That's a very appealing look. I just managed to get like the polish that I used to mark my favorites all over my hand. Awesome. Anyway, so this is a blackened jelly base, and again there's some interesting hollows going on in here, which are green green hex glitters, and there's also tinier green hollow glitters also going on in this one. So let's head into the swatches. Let me know what you think of the new setup.
All right, let's get started with the polishes from book number 1. This is Trollbogies, and you can see my new setup with the mirror and that like nice holographic fabric. But let's get back to polish. First coat of this is, as no surprise, it is very sheer. I ended up needing just 2 coats, which was fine. Yeah, and you get like a decent amount of the glitters out, which I liked very much. I might have gone for a third. When I went back and looked at my swatch pictures, I thought that I might have needed a third coat. So it really just depends on your application and how thick of a coat you do. And for all these Crellys, I do recommend a good glossy taco on top. Next up, we are boarding the Hogwarts Express. So this like orange to red, orange, whatever you want to call it, Crelly is also very nice and easy to work with. You get a ton of those nice flakies, those shredded flakies out, which was very nice. Yeah, and this one got opaque in 2 coats. I didn't have any issues. It is nice and glossy on its own, but of course I would always, recommend putting a good glossy taco on top. And as most red polishes do, this one, you always have from certain angles a little bit of V&L showing, but I didn't really mind that with this one. So you're going to see 2 coats of this in the swatch pictures. Okay, we're moving into the second book. This is Fort Anglia, another Corelli polish with lots of fun ingredients. For this one, I actually ended up needing 3 coats or doing 3 coats on camera. And I do think it is down to my latex swatch base that this one was a tad bit like weird to work with. I don't think you will have those issues when you just wear this as a normal polish, as a normal person would do. Yeah, and like I said, I needed 3 coats to get it to like full opacity, but that also gives you more layers where you can have those awesome glitter pieces, you know, sandwiched in between. That gives you that nice like jelly sandwich look on your nails. So in the swatch pictures, I do believe there's going to be 3 coats and probably top coat, because with all of these Corellis, they will dry a bit textured. So a good glossy taco is highly recommended, even by me. Next up, we have Basilisk, another one from book number 2. This is another Corelli, and it has this really, really nice green shade that I loved very much, and I also loved it on my nails, actually. This one got opaque in 2 coats because, you know, the green is a bit darker than that light blue or light gray we saw before. Again, formula was really nice to work with. A tad bit better than the lighter polishes, actually. If you are going to wear this like for an extended period of time and not just for a swatch picture, I would highly recommend putting a good glossy taco on top to smooth out all of those glitters in there. We are moving into this very interesting polish. This is Tom Riddle's Diary. This is meant to be a matte polish. Mine dries to like a semi-matte finish, not like an ultra matte or whatever. I ended up needing 3 coats of this one, but I didn't really mind because it dries like fairly quickly. The formula itself is easy to work with, even though, yes, I keep hitting my cuticle, but that's down to the new angle that I do the swatches at that I'm not yet used to. I will get better at this, I promise, at some point. So this one dries matte, so I'm going to show you it like in its natural state, where it sort of emulates like the leather cover of the actual diary. And then in the very end, I have one picture with a glossy version of this. Okay, we are now into book number 3. This is the Marauders Map. And this one is another Corelli. There's a ton of Corellis that I'm going to show you. This one got opaque in 2 coats. I had a little bit of a harder time getting those big black matte glitters out. I showed you this in the haul, and like all of the glitters were like stuck to one side because the bottle was shipped that way. So I do highly suggest, you know, leaving this one like standing upside down before you go to put it on. That's just sometimes the case with Corellis. Formula wise, this is really, really nice. I didn't end up liking the color of this on me very much though. So this is 2 coats of it, and I think glossy taco. Moving on into Runaway Rat. This one looks really similar to the Marauders Map that we just saw, but this one is more of a like brownish shade. I kept calling it like a pastel brown, and I think that's what it is. And there are these like bronzy or rose gold glitters in it. Very neat. It's another really nice Corelli. 2 coats is all it took. Formula-wise, this is really nice and easy to work with, but I, again, recommend like a good glossy taco to smooth out the glitters. Yeah, so I'm going to show you 2 coats of this with glossy taco on top in the swatch pictures. Can you guess what's up next? It's another Corelli. This is Stormy Snitch. This has, again, like a light gray base, or not as light as the first one we looked at, the Trollbogies. But this one also has these really cool round gold glitters in there. On the first coat, I didn't manage to get like a lot of them out, but then in the second coat, I had like too many and I didn't know where to place them anymore. That just happens sometimes. I feel like you always have to warm up the polish and the brush in order to get like a decent amount of glitters out. But with all of these polishes, I didn't have like a real issue with having to fish around for any of the special glitters in any of these polishes. So 2 coats is what it took. I highly recommend a glossy taco on top. And with this one, I also managed to totally mess up the glossy taco by putting it on too early and creating this really weird look on my middle finger. But I was also too lazy to redo the swatches. You know me, I'm lazy. Okay, moving on into the first of the 2 black linear hollows. This is Dementor. This has is not only like a blackened linear jelly, linear hollow jelly, but it also has these really cool like blue hex glitters in there. I'm gonna end up doing 3 coats of this, which I totally didn't mind. It dries fairly quickly. The formula of this one was really nice to work with, but it needed that extra 3rd coat in order to get fully opaque. I guess that the formula is a bit thinner, so you can, you know, see those those blue hex glitters stand out. Yeah, this one was pretty shiny on its own, but if you were to wear this out, I would highly recommend putting a glossy taco on top. Moving on, this is Boba Tong, and this is a baby blue Corelli polish. It has bar glitters and it has these golden hex glitters, and it also has stars. It's sometimes it's difficult to like get like all of these glitters on in a very, you know, nice fashion, so sometimes you have to maneuver them around. And actually with the second coat, I ended up with like too many stars on my nail, so I just grabbed like an orange wood stick and you know, shoved that star back onto my nail and placed it where I wanted it. The formula of this one wasn't, I don't know, maybe it's down to my swatch base, but it was kind of weirdish, and I would also recommend wearing a glossy taco for this one also. Okay, next up is Durmstrang. I just like calling it that. This is another one of those like red bread. It's bread red. No, it's brick red. That's the word I was looking for. And it is also a strong hollow. And then it has these still can't make up my mind whether these are dark golden or if they're black or if they're meant to be red. I don't know. But there's hex glitters in this one and they look really cool. I think I did 2 coats of this one to get it to like full opacity. It was really glossy on its own. But again, if you want to wear this out, put a glossy taco on top. Yeah, so you're going to see 2 coats of this in the swatch pictures with glossy taco on top. last and certainly not least, we've got Madre, and at this point my camera must have gotten like really tired because it had the hardest time ever focusing on this hollow polish, even though it's like exactly the same as the Dementor that we saw earlier, except that this one has more of a greenish vibe going on, and then there's green hex glitters in there, but I don't know, my camera was freaking out and it couldn't focus. It was just really weird. Again, I took 3 coats to get this one to full opacity, but I didn't mind like before because it dries fairly quickly, and you know, those 3 coats really make it so that you have a lot of those green hex glitters in there, sandwiched in between the polish, which looks really nice. I like the look of this one a whole lot also. Again, you know, glossy taco recommended if you want to wear this for an extended period of time. Okay, so you're gonna see 3 coats of this in the swatch pictures. Ta-da!
Alrighty, you guys, that were my swatches of this 12-piece, it's not one collection, it's actually 12 polishes off of 4 different collections. Anyway, that were my swatches. My favorites are these 7, yes, there's 7 polishes that I put up here in front, and then have that little red dot on top. Like I said, I needed to keep track of things, so I put on like a bit of polish on the caps, so I knew which ones were my favorite when I went to recap this. I think my absolute top picks would be these 2 like blackened linear hollows. If you hold them up next to each other, maybe it's just because of the different colors glitters that are in here, but this one looks more blue and this one looks more green, and not actually just a straight up black, but it's more like this one has like a green blackened base and this one has a blue blackened base. That is like a strong linear hollow, but both of these look so nice on the nail. I did have to go like for a 3rd coat to like really darken up the color, but I didn't mind one bit because it's such a pretty polish and they dry fairly quickly, and these actually dry like fairly shiny also. So these 2 would be my absolute top picks. That's Dementor and Madre for ya. And I actually ended up liking those 2 reddish jelly polishes a lot too, even though they do that typical thing that every darn red polish on this planet seems to do, where you always have a bit of, you know, visible nail line left. I don't know what it is in red polishes, but I've never had one that I've put on where you could not from some angle see your nail line. It just, I don't know. It doesn't matter how many coats you put on. It's just a weird thing red polishes do. And these are like Crellies, because of, you know, the different ingredients that are in here that need to stand out against the base. So I capped out at 2 coats and I was totally fine with that. I did have, like I said, a bit of VNL, but I didn't mind one bit. So these are absolute top picks also. They are really well balanced. You get like a decent amount of the different like components of these polishes out, and they stand out really nicely against your nail. The hollow in these ones is good. The formula of all of these polishes, pretty much all of these polishes, was A+ and easy to work with. Yeah, and these were no exceptions. And they also smell nice. I did note that last time, but they don't have like a strong polish smell. They have a nice smell, which sometimes happens in indie polishes, where yes, they do smell like polishes, but they have a nice polish smell. It's sounding weirder every second. And then my other like 2 favorites, of course, are the 2 gray Crellies that are in here. The one with the golden glitters in it and the one with the silver hollow glitters in there. I must say that all of the Crellies I tried this time around were a bit finicky formula wise, but that might be my fault because I'm using a latex swatch base and sometimes it messes up like Crelly formulas, where it makes it it gives the polish a weird consistency in the formula, which isn't there if you just put it on like over a regular base coat or just onto your natural nail. So I will give it the benefit of the doubt that it was, you know, down to my swatch base. It wasn't horrible to work with these, and it wasn't wasn't anything that you couldn't smooth out with a you know, with a good top coat, and that's what I did. I just, you know, put like a good top coat over these, over all of the Krellies, to smooth them out and to seal them in, so to say. But with all of these Krellies, you get like a decent amount of glitters out. Sometimes it's like too much, like with the Boba Tong one, where you have those little stars and bar glitters. At first I didn't get any out. I think you always have to like warm up your brush for some reason, and then there was almost like too many hearts and bar glitters going on, and I didn't know where to put them on my nails. Yeah, but these two gray ones are absolute top picks. I like the look of these. I love the combo. I just like gray polishes in general, and if you add something extra to them, that just makes them even more special to me. And last and certainly not least, we've got Basilisk, and I like this shade of green that this one has. And also the added components in this one just looked so nice. I only needed 2 coats of this to get it to full opacity and to match like the color in the bottle. Yeah, I just thought it's a really nice polish to play around with, and you know, a different kind of color to wear once in a while. So that wraps up my little Harry Potter excursion down the Spellboundnails rabbit hole. That was like, you know, a crossover to Alice in Wonderland there for a second. Let me know what you thought of these. Let me know if you are interested in getting any of these, because you know, like I said, there's a bunch more, and I could have gone like gotten more polishes, but these were like my absolute top picks that I wanted to try out, because you know, I'm really into Krellies, and the majority of these are basically Krellies, one way or another. Yeah, let me know what you thought of this. Also, like I said, let me know if you like that new backdrop for swatching that I had going on today. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Other than that, that's it for today, you guys. I love you very, very much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!